So I asked people to chime in on Twitter so we could discuss a few things that occurred in the NFL, not only this year but this week. So hit me with the first one. All right, Matt Lee Puma asked, was it fair to start Cutler despite how well McCown was doing? I think we all agree.
That was definitely fair.
Yes.
Fair, yeah.
It was fair.
Was it wise?
Turned out. I mean, they won the game.
Turned out wise. That stat that you hit us with, 11 of 12 on third down. That's a great stat.
151 yards.
What's amazing is that. By the way, these are old glasses. I have to take them off to read. Nothing women find sexier than that.
Except for one
He was
person.
22 of 31 for the game, so he was horrible when it wasn't third down. When it was first or second down, this guy wasn't very good. But on third down, he made big throw after big throw.
What's the next one? So is Cousins' play looked at well or poorly compared to RG3 playing against a horrid Atlanta pass defense? Ben, what do you think?
I bet on the Redskins. I bet a lot of money on the Redskins yesterday. Not real money, of course. Kirk Cousins plays well, and the Falcons were a 6-point favorite. That's crazy. They're terrible. So it was a logical bet. It won. And there was a brief moment there in the fourth quarter where the Falcons had it covered, but you felt like the Redskins were going to come back and score. I would have had Kirk Cousins start earlier, just because it's clear RG3 is not totally healthy.
Yep.
He's not protecting himself sufficiently. He holds onto the ball forever. He's taking hits. The season's over. Let him be healthy next year. He should definitely be the quarterback next year. It's nice to have Kirk Cousins, but
Certainly.
if he plays well in these last two games and you get a number 2 pick or somebody gets panicky and gives you a late number 1 for him, make that trade. That's the best
Giving
case.
a number 1 for
Well,
Kirk
keep in mind, he
Cousins?
was a third round
He was
pick.
a third rounder. That's
He was
his
a third
value
rounder,
right
and
now.
he's played higher than that, so he's at least worth a 2. He looks like
I don't think anyone would give the Redskins a 2. I really don't.
I think Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback.
He's not worth a second-round pick.
He was a 3, and he's clearly better than that. So
Yeah.
I think some teams definitely would. I don't think he'll get a 1. I agree, but he puts up numbers. And the Redskins need picks. I mean, they're going to be bad for forever, and who knows who the coach is going to be? It's not going to be Mike Shanahan, although he said this week that he wants to come back.
D. Bell once again says, who will win the right to get their ass kicked in New Jersey February 2nd from the AFC? We somewhat discussed this, but reiterate.
Yeah, Chargers.
They're like.
What was it? Wait. So for people who are just tuning into this clip, what was your bet?
It's 25-1. Chargers go to the Super Bowl from the AFC.
They're
I
not
put
gonna
20 kind of dollars. Okay.
Monopoly money.
Yeah, to get 500. Come on, that's a good
Monopoly
bet,
money.
man.
They're not going to go to the playoffs.
Well, that's a hindrance.
They're like.
They can go to the playoffs. Miami can lose. The Ravens can lose. Yeah, and Chargers are going to win their next 2 games. Chargers are peaking, man. Look, I don't think they're going to make the Super Bowl, but at 25-1, I love that bet because now finally at the end of the season, the North Turner stench is totally gone. Ryan Matthews is kicking ass. Phillip Rivers is kicking ass. They're peaking, man. So if they get into the playoffs and they hit it hard, how many times have you seen a team started this as a 6th seed and go all the way to the Super Bowl in the modern history? A lot.
In the last decade, it's happened more times than not. But let me ask you this: did you make that bet pre or post Thursday night football?
Post Thursday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Post Thursday night, pre-Sunday, because the Dolphins' victory hurt the Chargers terribly. Yeah.
That's right. That's all true. And remember, they just beat the Broncos in Denver. What, they can't win the AFC playoffs?
If the reasoning behind your bet, it seems like now they're going to have a very tough time making the playoffs. But if they do get in, and it's not inconceivable, then I rather like the bet. The reasoning behind it is very sound. The AFC feels very open with the Gronkowski loss, and the Broncos obviously vulnerable to some extent. Although I think that the answer to that question is, I think we're going to look at. I think it's not complicated. I think it's going to be I think Steve's going to agree. I think it's the Broncos and the Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
I agree.
The Chargers finish against the Raiders against the Chiefs. By the way, just letting you know. What's next?
Chargers 49ers repeat of the Super Bowl.
Steve Lang says, question, Peyton Manning, can he finally win the big game? I'm not asking Cenk, so let's start with Steve.
No.
No?
Not this year.
What's the big game?
The Super Bowl?
The
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I believe that's what Steve Lang is
For
asking.
Cenk, it would be beating the Patriots in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, definitely. For me, it'd be like beating the Bengals in the playoffs.
Yeah, if it's the AFC Championship game, yes. If it's Super Bowl, no.
If it's the AFC Championship game in Denver, and obviously the Dolphins did a huge favor to the Broncos by making it now much more likely that game's in Denver and not at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where obviously he's not as comfortable. So, yeah, I mean, can he? Of course he can. He already has. They won a Super Bowl.
Look, let me just say one quick thing. Everybody knows I hate Manning in the playoffs, yada, yada. Look, to be fair to Manning, if he makes it all the way to the Super Bowl, then I would say he's already done his job because the NFC teams are so much better, whether it's Seattle, it's San Francisco, et cetera, that it's not even quite fair to Manning if he loses the Super Bowl to say that he blew it. Because that Seattle team is ferocious. And anybody who beats Seattle must be ferocious.
And San Francisco is great, too. San Francisco is in a tough spot because they're in that division. But they're clearly, to me, the second best team.